702.
The Open Line.
It is the Open Line right here on the Clement Manyathela show. And last week we had responded, and many of you had responded with much outrage around that Western area tragedy where there had been a mass shooting at a tavern, gunmen storming the liquor outlet and opening fire at patrons. They killed 10 people there in Bekkersdal, that's on the West Strand. Well, 11 suspects are expected to appear in the Western Area Magistrates Court today in connection with that murder. And I think that it's great. I think it's fantastic that people have been arrested. If you remember, there were 12 people that were being looked for. I remember many locals saying there were roughly 12 people who were seen getting out of these vehicles and walking into the tavern and opening fire and leaving. So it seems majority or most of those people have been arrested, and I think that's absolutely amazing. They'll be appearing in court today. It is their first court appearance, so we aren't expecting much on that court appearance, except the fact that many of them might give an indication that they want to apply for bail. But yes, there's been a breakthrough in that Western area, or that Bekkersdal case, the shooting in that tavern. What are your thoughts on that? I think it's great that there's been a breakthrough. I just hope that we can see the case moving now, and that there'll actually be proper prosecutions and successful prosecutions if these are the perpetrators behind the crime. And then, of course, it is the 29th, so we're 4 days after Christmas. And how was your Christmas? Did you enjoy your time with your family? I did enjoy my time. This was my first, I think it was my first Christmas away from the greater family. I had time with my small little family, with my husband and my child and my mom, and it was a smaller one for me, but it was very, very wholesome, very, very warm. Now, I saw something on the internet, and it drew my attention. So, it's the coach of Manchester City, Pep Guardiola. There'd been a clip that was making the rounds where he had warned players that if you come back weighing more, so he weighed them before they went for their festive break, and he said, if you come back weighing more, you're not going to play the next few games. And I thought that was so interesting, and he's been so strict around that. And I don't know what your thoughts are about that, but let's take a listen to the clip and hear what he had to say.
Yesterday, every player make a weight, and 25 back, no? 25, I will be there controlling how many kilos come up. They come fatty. So, listen, I don't say one word I said today to make them feel, no, it's the truth. The moment they arrive after 3 days, I want to see how they come back, yeah. No, they can eat, but I want to control them. No. I had to make a selection at 27 against Nottingham Forest. So imagine one player, and I was perfect, arrived with 3 kilos more. He will be in Manchester. He will not travel to Nottingham Forest. 10 to 10, that's for sure.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas for everyone.
They can eat, but I want to control them. Now, of course, he's speaking about soccer players here, and it's important that they stay in shape. At this time of the year, I think there's a tendency for us to kind of let go. Even if you've been strict throughout the year, that's 7 colors. Or do they say it's several colors? Some people say 7 colors, others say several colors. But that plate there, that Christmas plate that you have, and the leftovers that you have the next day really can be a bit of a danger and set you back on the work that you've done in the year if you are not careful. But if your boss were to weigh you as you got back to work now, or over the next few days, and that hinged, or whether you kept your job hinged on the fact that you weigh more or not, would you still have your job? Would you keep your job? I wonder how many of us would come back still in shape. I can already see the waistlines are in danger here, right? And it's purely because at this time of the year you want to relax. But I also have been thinking maybe there are jobs that maybe we should be stricter on them. Certain careers where them staying in shape is important. I've heard people being very critical of people in law enforcement, police officers, metro police saying, hey, you must stay in shape. How are you going to run after the criminals if you are not in shape? And also there's a fitness test for those in that career as well for a reason. But if you were to be weighed by your boss before you went for your Christmas break and weighed after when you came back, would you still have a job? 011-883-0702. I know for a fact that I would be holding on for dear life. I think I'd be struggling there. I've been seeing some videos of the players online, many of them making a joke out of it, saying, oof, we just made it. And I think that's the reality that many of us might have. How was your Christmas? Did you enjoy this time of the year with your family? Did you overindulge? And how are you planning on working back and getting back on that fitness journey if you are on a fitness journey? And I know many of us are drinking certain things. I know people at this time of the year, after that Christmas, some people will even take some laxatives. To say, "Oof, I've done a bit of I've done a bit much at this time of the year." Is that you? And are you regretting after overindulging in that Christmas plate? Or are you still going? We still have New Year's coming, and you know what comes with the New Year's? It's the braais. And, it doesn't stop now. In fact, I think some people, especially people that are out at parties, they're still eating at this time of the year. It's still meat. People will joke and say some people, they have meat with meat, And is that you? Is that your reality? Or have you managed to be disciplined? I want to hear from you. If you are disciplined and you managed to almost stay on it and keep your fitness goals intact, and you were able to be temperate at this time of the year. I want to hear from you. How did you manage to do that? I think we want to hear from you, because you might be the ones that we can learn from as the year progresses. It's all about discipline, isn't it? It's all about discipline. It's all about making sure that you can see that the food is not going anywhere. There'll still be more food even as the year progresses. But I think at this time we almost forget that, and we just want to overindulge and we make excuses. This is the 702 open line. The number to dial is 011-883-0702. I'm also taking your WhatsApps on 072-702-1702. My name is Kgomotso Modise. I'm in for Clement Manyathela this morning. It's lovely to be with you, and we're doing this over the next few days. Of course, on the news front, there's not a lot happening. It is rather quiet, but I am I do see that breakthrough in the Bekkersdal Tavern case is rather important. It's a big story. I do see that the news agencies on television are going to be there as well. It's the first appearance. 11 people arrested in connection with the murder of 10 people at a tavern in Bekkersdal. You may remember that the conversation we had around this was the fact that it seems to have been illegal mining related. And we spoke to the Community Policing Forum spokesperson, or Community Policing Forum chair in Bekkersdal last week, who really did confirm that they have been having a Zamazama crisis in the area. And as a result of that, they believe that the shooting happened. And many people that live in the area, but also people who, are, who know details about that space, the illegal mining space, have been weighing in, and it does seem to be quite a crisis. Those 11 people will have their court appearance today in Bekkersdal, and I want to hear from you. I mean, it's great when there are breakthroughs like this. I do hope, though, that there will be successful prosecution. In many of these cases, people are arrested. The arresting is never a problem. If you remember, there was the arrest of it was also Zamazama linked people for the rape of multiple young women, also on the West Rand a couple of years ago, I believe. We saw those arrests. Many of those men, there was many men in the dock appearing there, but that case didn't make it anywhere. It just went, into thin air. And I think that's what That's what concerns many of us. The fact that the arresting is never a problem. It's the prosecution, the successful prosecution. That's a concern. So are you confident that in this instance with Bekkersdal, we will see prosecution? My fear oftentimes when it comes to the illegal mining stories, and this is, of course, we are assuming that this is an illegal mining case. My fear with the illegal mining stories is that many of the accused have really, really good lawyers. And I saw it in the it was the Nomzamo Tavern case also in Soweto, where there was a mass shooting at a tavern as well, and it was believed to be Zama related. The lawyers that they have are so strong. And it's experienced lawyers, it is prominent lawyers, it's people that know their story, and oftentimes that results in the prosecution just collapsing and falling flat. I hope that won't be the case over the next few weeks with this Bekkersdal Tavern shooting. Many people were saying that the community needs to take responsibility, and I understand that, and I agree with that. But now that there's been arrests, now that people have actually been arrested, I really do hope that we will be seeing successful prosecution.
Hello, madam. Hello, mama. Well, let me tell you something, mama. Well, when you come to in South Africa, the majority three are also not able to touch. The majority three don't have to be involved from legal mining, zamas. Legal mining, number one. Number two, hijacking building. Number three, the drug attack. I'm telling you, mama, the three, if we're not going to Shalam Rao, I'm telling you, your life is on danger. How many people who are going to solve a what's happening? How many people when you go solve a problem the hijacking building? Three. How many people who teach you somebody because of the drugs? Or the latter and the logic three. Uskava told la teach you and no latter lamra when you go to solve. I resolve it. In South Africa, you can solve it. Three things you can solve it. Marza murmu tuje phone tuje whatever college they can try all the best nobody solve. Mara three forget.
Thank you for that voice note. Of course, just to try and translate for our listeners who might not be Sepedi speaking, he's speaking about the three issues that he believes you cannot solve or are difficult to solve in South Africa: illegal mining, as well as the drug issue and the hijacked buildings issue. And he says there'll be arrests and breakthroughs in many other cases, but in those, hardly ever. And I think that's very telling. That's very telling because it's clear that then the people behind these are so powerful that they're able to circumvent the system, to make their way around the system. They're able to, to do things and to maneuver their way out of accountability. And that's a big problem. But the one thing that I learned is that, I think it was during the interview with the Johannesburg MMC for Public Safety, Dr. Mgcine last week. He said something really concerning for me. He said that they believe that the people that run the illegal mining, that run the building hijacking in the Johannesburg CBD, he spoke about two syndicates that they know of that run that building hijacking. He says those people are also linked to the illegal mining issue. Now that's telling. Because then that shows you that, what's actually going on here. And I think for me, that's where we need to start looking. But I've been saying this, the fact that they know that there are two syndicates running the building hijacking in the city of Johannesburg, that in itself is a problem. Because where are the arrests?
702. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Good morning. Kgomotso. Flores here from the beautiful Western Cape. I'm also working, taking leave next week, the 5th, and I'm enjoying it. It's nice and quiet at work. And most importantly, I enjoy the AFCON. Man, this is an exciting AFCON. There are no weak teams, but tonight is going to be a real test for Hugo Bruce and our boys. And I think it's time we need to start changing our name. From Bafana Bafana to something more really pointed, something more notable. You see, we got all these teams: Atlas Lions, Copper Bullets, Indomitable Lions. Why don't we call ourselves the Southern Cobras? Something like that. We need to have bite. But let me tell you, Kgomotso, unfortunately, we're going to play a draw tonight. I don't think our boys are realizing the intensity. Zimbabwe has nothing to lose, and they're going to come out guns blazing. Have a good show. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for that. How's about Madoda? Not Bafana Bafana, Madoda. No? Thank you for your voice note. Yes, Bafana playing tonight with Zimbabwe in the AFCON. Listen, I've been schooled when it comes to soccer quite a bit, and I've been told that Zimbabwe, we should be more afraid of Zimbabwe than Egypt. Now, we know what happened with Egypt last week, unfortunately, but as Pelumoya, we keep going, right? We keep the Bafana magic and the spirit going. So we're hoping for a win against Zim tonight. But the conversation around whether or not to change the name Bafana Bafana keeps coming up, hey? Year in, year out, people are saying, why Bafana Bafana? You know, it's got no real meaning apart from the fact that we are just boys. You know, we are boys. I don't know. I think that it symbolizes youth, right? And the idea is when we are youthful, we are sharp. You know, we know what we're doing. I don't know. I suppose I'm not mad at the name Bafana Bafana, and we've been doing rather well even with the name. So I think it's clear that it's not in the name. But yeah, maybe Madoda. I'm a daughter. No. Where are you going to be watching Bafana this evening? Get in touch with us, 011-883-0702. Are you planning a watch party with your friends? Are you going to be with family? Are your vuvuzelas out? Are you even still watching after what happened with Egypt? I've been seeing a lot of commentary from soccer people who've been saying we don't have anything to be worried about just yet. We might be doing we might have had a bit of a slip up, but we showed our resilience as a team. The boys are sharp. The boys are in good shape and in good form, and we will come out victorious. Do you still have that hope in Bafana Bafana or in the Madoda? Also, what name do you suggest? I like that, Cobras. But isn't there already a team with Cobras? I think I've heard Cobras somewhere. There's no team. Are you sure? It's not Nigeria? Something? Okay. I don't know. Get in touch with me. What name do you think we should name Bafana Bafana ahead of the match today and just in the AFCON, right? To kind of get them going. I'm very proud of them. We were proud of them for qualifying. We're proud of their showing. And I think that they can feel the country behind them, which is so important. It keeps them going. It pushes them. And maybe they too should be among those who are weighed. Maybe South African soccer players should also be weighed before a festive season and things like that, just so that they stay in shape, just so that they can continue to run, you know, and they can be fit and be real Bafanas and not Mkulus. But yes, I'm taking your calls right here on the 702 open line. My name is Kgomotso Modise, and this is the Clement Manyathela show right here on 702. After the news headlines, we continue with the open line. Get in touch with us. What's on your mind and how you're spending the next few days? If you're working, don't you worry, don't you fret. We are with you. We are doing this together, and we will come through on the other side victorious.
702. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Morning, Kgomotso. Good morning, ma'am. How are you? Hope you're good. In response to that voice note of the guy who says these three categories of crime we should just forget, I like to differ with him. The problem is the rot is on top. The rot is on the top. Top politicians, like General Mkhonazi said, the rot is on the top. Until we sort out the rot on the top, it can be solved, but we have to take care of the rot on top. The rot is on the top. The rot is on the top because the people on the ground get protected by the people on the top. You know, we can still clean this country, but we have to clean the top. The problem is the top will do everything in its power to protect itself. Spiwe from Eshablane. Thank you.
Thank you, Spiwe. Yes, no, I mean, I completely agree. I think that the crime problem and the lawlessness problem is at the very top. And because our leaders are lawless and have no respect for the law, and because we can see them, going to the extents that they go to protect themselves, we can't expect. I don't want to say we can't expect, because I think it takes away the responsibility from us as citizens to abide by the law. But you're right in saying that, it's rotting at the top, and now the people at the bottom are taking the cue. I do think, however, that we as citizens must take responsibility, and we as citizens also must understand our power. Every time we go to the polls and we vote for the people that we know are lawless, it's one thing when people haven't shown you that they have no respect for the law, but if we know, and you go and you vote for whatever party that has shown you that they can act in a lawless manner, then I think you're part of the problem. You're encouraging the lawlessness, you're encouraging the lack of order, and then you wonder why things happen and turn out to be the way that they are. This is the Clement Manyathela Show. My name is Kgomotso Modise. I'm in for Clement this morning. It's the open line, 9:36 right here on 702. I'm seeing your voice notes and your WhatsApps coming in. Someone here saying, good morning, Kgomotso. I totally disagree with the notion of changing the name Bafana Bafana. You can have the most intimidating name, but what counts the most is what happens in the field of play. And that's from Tabang. Yeah, and that's in response to someone saying, I think we got a voice note, someone saying that it should no longer be Bafana Bafana. It's a conversation and discourse that happens every now and again, right? Where there'll be the question, is the name Bafana Bafana good enough? Is the name Bafana Bafana still relevant? And I don't know. I was saying it represents youthfulness, I suppose. If Singabafana Sifit, we run more. We are more lethal. But Tabang here saying it does not matter. It really doesn't matter. And I don't know if you feel the same way. Do you think we should change the name to Madoda or something else? Someone else saying, how about changing Bafana Bafana to Southern Stars? I can hear it. I think I can hear it. The Southern Stars. South Africa, Southern Stars. Let's take more of your voice notes.
Hi, Kgomotso. This is Shugan from DRC. Yeah, Bafana can be named for one of the big five, or they can just take that name, the big five of South Africa, the big five of the South, something like that, Like my national team is called the Leopard, and it makes you scary, the Leopard of DRC.
Okay. Okay, so we take one of the big five, yeah? Then what happens when we lose? Do we say the lion has lost its teeth? What happens? What happens when things don't go our way? Now they'll be teasing us and saying we're a toothless lion. You see, there's danger here. But I hear you, especially because we have the Proteas, right, for our cricket, and we've got the Springboks, and that makes sense, right? They run like poker, like Springboks, the jumping. I get it. I see it, But I don't know, big five for our soccer team? I don't know. Get in touch with us. I'm taking your calls. Bafana Bafana are going to be playing against Zimbabwe in the AFCON this evening. And are you going to be watching Bafana? Are you having a watch party with your friends? Are you even bothering to follow this AFCON? You should be. We must follow. We must get behind our boys. I think it makes a difference when we are behind them. All right, let's go to the lines. Sister, you're in Wendywood. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kgomotso. How are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, Kgomotso. I was just echoing what you just said. It was when I was listening. You spoke about us as people on the ground as well needs to take accountability. I saw the video of people looting a truck that overturned, right? And then yesterday there was a video again of kids drinking, 6 to 12-year-olds drinking. Where are the parents? The person that took that video, firstly, what were they thinking? You know what I mean? So until we also as communities say, We need to hold ourselves in the same standard that we expect the leadership to be. We cannot change anything. It's not a one-man show. I was in Thokoza on the 27th. This was 12:30, midday. A bomb. Can you imagine a bomb? And the people in Thokoza were not even they were okay with it. They're like, oh, it's a bomb. And in that time, a Kazan Transit car was bombed and people ran around. And I thought, my goodness, is this the lawlessness? I mean, crime is so brazen. People are not even bothered by it. And that is where the problem is. All of us need to take accountability. People on the top, we need to get the right people on the top firstly, but also us as communities, we need to hold each other accountable. If a truck overturns and you run and take what's in that truck, you are in your car, you stop your car in the freeway or the highway, you get those goods. Aren't you even a criminal yourself? You get what I'm saying? So I think it's bigger than this. And until all of us work together to say enough, it's enough. We cannot be that country. We cannot be that nation. There is nothing. We can always talk about the people on the top, but they're not the only ones that are in this criminal behavior.
Yeah. And it's easier to point fingers. It's easier to say, no, they are being so lawless. But we never look at ourselves and look at the lawlessness in our own lives.
Yeah, that's true. Like, listen how we screamed when that woman started shooting guns. I mean, we have a right as a community to scream and say, this is unlawful, you can't do this. But the person that was shown on camera taking things from, a truck that hit, we didn't call that person out. We didn't say, you cannot do this, not in our watch, not in this country. We cannot allow it, Kgomotso.
Yeah.
So I think that is the thing. We have double standards when it comes to crime. And we need to start asking ourselves, if I pay a traffic officer 200, what am I doing? Am I not a criminal? Am I not actually really creating more of these criminals on the roads because they thought I gave them the 200, they expect the next person to do the same. That person who won't do the same is going to be treated unfairly or arrested, or something else is going to happen to them. So we feed in these criminals because we allow such behaviors, and we laugh at it when we take videos. This social media, it's on another level. I think people think when something is trending, it makes sense. It doesn't when you don't call it out. You are laughing at it. It doesn't change anything. Yep. And I think we need to learn that, Kgomotso. And you have a good one, Kgomotso. I wish you nothing but a healthy 2026.
Thank you.
It's been great listening to you on Clement's show, and we hope to continue listening to you in the new year. And may the good Lord be with you and your family.
Thank you so much, sister. And same to you.
Okay, Kgomotso.
All right, then. That's Sister Wendy Wood there sharing her sentiments on the crime problem. Dare I say that, every time we vote for corrupt people, whoever we vote for, who have scandals of corruption, I think it's a reflection on us as well. It's a reflection on us. Are we really as bothered by corruption as we say we are? Are we as bothered by lawlessness as we say we are? Or is it just fashionable to say, oh, people are corrupt, oh, this one is corrupt, or that one is corrupt? If it bothers us so much, we wouldn't allow it in our lives, as Sister correctly says. We wouldn't condone it when it's the bribing of a police officer. In fact, I feel that South Africans are not so, they're not as angered about crime as they always come out, to be and sound as if they are, I think that people only care when it affects them. When it's happening elsewhere, people are okay with it. That's why we can turn a blind eye when there's bribery. We can turn a blind eye when you go to Home Affairs and that someone asks for Jojo or a bribe money, cold drink, as they call it. We can turn a blind eye because it doesn't affect you. But as soon as it affects you, only then are you outraged and bothered. And I think that we need to call ourselves out. Yes, the leaders are a problem, but hey, we're also problematic at times, and we must take accountability.
We can't be saying Big Five. We can't be saying Big Five because now Big Five has been hijacked by drug cartels in South Africa. So we can't be naming our soccer team Big Five. Maybe something else. Sharp.
Yes, actually, hey, the Big Five now. It's been tainted. Hey, there's a stigma there. Something that meant something completely different. Was supposed to symbolize such a beautiful thing about our nation and our country. Now when you say Big Five, whoa, we all thinking, which one are you talking about? We're speaking about Bafana Bafana as they are going to be, playing against Zimbabwe this evening. And someone is suggesting let's change the name. I think the suggestion was one of the animals of the Big Five. Ne? So maybe Southern Lions. Yes? I think so. I think Southern Lions, I'm not sure he meant let's name the whole thing. Or maybe he gave leopard also as an example, the vicious leopards. We're standing behind Bafana this evening. I'm really, really looking forward to that game, and I hope that they come out on top. Someone here is saying Bafana, if I'm not mistaken, means boys. Can boys catch eagles? Can boys catch lions? Can boys catch leopards? Change the name. I hear you actually. Yeah, it's boys. But they can run. Boys can run and they are fit, and I don't know. I hear you though. I hear you. This is the 702 open line, and we're taking your suggestions. Should we rename? Should we even bother renaming? Some people are saying there's no point in renaming Bafana Bafana or renaming the soccer team if they're not going to, do the things as people say on the field. I don't know. I'm taking your calls.
Yeah, this thing of the name change, Bafana to something else, it's emotional to some of us. We're not changing Bafana Bafetu. What is more dangerous than a human being, Mhlabeni? I don't think there's anything dangerous than a human being. If you don't believe me, look at the kind of politicians we have. Look at the damage we have done to this planet, this beautiful planet Earth. Now let me take you somewhere back a bit.
Yeah.
Emovale, when they wanted to hunt maybe a leopard or a lion, they would send Abafana. Not amadoda ahlezi eParliament. Parliament by the time was under the tree. When there was a dangerous criminal or something, they would send Abafana.
Yeah.
When something needs to be done for the community that is positive for the community, maybe we're digging to install water pipes or something, we send Abafana. You know why? Because Abafana are a strength of the community. And the symbol, those two running boys, that symbol is fine. Those two running boys, it's fine, that symbol. Leave Bafana alone. They are fine as they are. And I'm glad which we have a young squad which represents exactly their name, Bafana.
Hey, I see, what is more dangerous than a human in the world? I don't know. Someone here just said boys can't catch eagles. Boys can't catch lions. Boys can't catch leopards. And I suppose it's in how you look at it and what the name Bafana Bafana symbolizes. In fact, I think it might be worth doing a bit of a history class on where it comes from, because I don't know where it comes from. And if you do know, please get in touch with us and let us know. School us, please, with how did we even become Bafana Bafana? I can see the idea of youthfulness. It makes sense to me that we're boys, and I hear you also, your analysis there. I hear the depth there, of the historic symbolicis of what young boys would symbolize in ancient African culture. But I suppose maybe we need to speak about whether we need something that sounds more aggressive. I don't know if it will change much. Maybe it will make them feel more aggressive, making them feel more, that they're going in, I don't know. Bafana Bafana is playing against Zimbabwe this evening. And I suppose the conversation is whether you're going to be watching. Are you going to be having a good time with your friends this evening, watching Bafana and your family? And are you rooting behind them? I made a promise last week, and I'm a woman of my word. So listen, I said, because I don't own a Bafana jersey, I don't own the shirt, né? And I want to own it. And I only bought the Springbok shirt towards the end of the World Cup, where I felt like, okay, I can see now my money, né? So I'm going to be buying a Bafana shirt, but I need them to win at least today. At least today, let them win. If they win today, I'm getting the shirt. I'm definitely going to be buying it to wear, and whatever happens after today is fine. But if they don't win today, I need them to win something before I buy the shirt. Are you going to be wearing your Bafana shirt today? Are you wearing it already? And I hope that you're wearing it with pride and you're rallying behind our boys because they need it.
Good morning, Kgomotso. No. Bafana Bafana has its story. Bafana Bafana has its history. Bafana Bafana has its originality. I don't think changing the name will change anything. Bafana Bafana represents South Africa. Let's just leave it at that. Let's not change history of Bafana Bafana. Thank you. Ta.
Hey, Manon Kgomotso option for Sloras. Kgomotso, Bafana Bafana, the name it's perfect. Yeah. Just like the other voice note was saying. Warriors used to come from boys. In every army in the world, men, they can think now they have families, they are sort of lazy. Yeah. But boys, Kgomotso, send boys to do everything. They will do it perfectly. I'm sorry to say, from Hitler's army to Abu Shaka. Check the age Abu Shaka when they passed on, when they were destroying. How old were they? They were not yet men. They were still boys. Thank you very much, Kgomotso.
Okay. I hear you. I hear the idea. The symbolism there that the boys get the work done. If you want people to get the work done, you send boys. I wonder when you put them against all the other team names, does it land? Do you think it lands? I suppose that's the question. Does it land the same way? Because for us, maybe we get it as a nation. You say, now I've been schooled by you and I get it. But when they go there and they stand against giants, quite literally sometimes they are giants, because our boys aren't always the tallest or the biggest. They are good at what they're doing, but they're not always, we don't have that big physique. Does it land when we say we are boys? I suppose, do they get a chance to substantiate why we are called boys? But I hear you guys, and thank you for the lesson there. This is the 702 Open Line, the Clement Manyathela Show, and I'm in for Clem this morning.
Your voice.
Your station. Let's walk the talk.
702 Summer.
All right, let's take more of your voice notes. I think we've got one or two that have just come in, and let's take a listen.
Good morning, 702. Good morning. Yeah, no, I don't know. This is Linda from Dobsonville. I don't know. Bafana Bafana have been doing well since Hugo Bruce took over. Let's be honest. They've been doing very well. And now they lost to Egypt. And we are now starting to question. We are starting to bring up issues now to say, no, this, that, the name, what. I think it's time for us. We'll look at this. Let's face the Africa Cup of Nations, and then face the World Cup, and then we'll come back to sit down when we have a new coach to say we'll continue the name of Bafana Bafana or what. But I think South Africans, come on, because now the guys lost to Egypt, and now we come up with this to say maybe there's something wrong with the name and what. I don't think so.
Yeah, I do think that sometimes we as South Africans can be a little impatient, I think. And it's just one loss, né? One loss for now. Hopefully today we will actually win, but it's just one loss. And I appreciate the soccer analysis that I've been receiving and I've been seeing on social media, people, painting the picture, clarifying, also speaking about the technique that Bafana has shown and how they've been showing up and how they showed up even in the match against Egypt. The fact that they gave Egypt such a hard time. These are, the giants on our continent, just in the form of, just when it comes to skill and it comes to technique. So the fact that we were even able to give them such a tough time, I think is commendable. So definitely we go in with a lot more confidence, and I believe that our boys are going to make us proud. And I suppose maybe now we need to ask ourselves, how can we better show up? Ne? The country must try show up in the best way possible, and just be the country that wants to see our boys progress. When the Bokke was playing, There were watch parties everywhere, and as there should have been. I think it was really important, and I think we should do the same when it comes to soccer. I do think that the country is being I think the excitement is coming back now that we're seeing the way that Bafana is performing on the world stage. And I think that there's a restoration of hope, which is always beautiful to see. South Africa loves its football. We're a nation that loves football. And I think it was really concerning and a little, depressing, so to speak, loosely, when our team was just not showing up in the way that we know they could. And now we're seeing them show up. And I think we should really commend Hugo Broos and the work that he has done. Of course, that match is this evening at around 6 p.m. That match against Zimbabwe. And are you going to be watching? Are you going to be out with friends? Please let us know, where are you going to be watching? If there are events that are being held around the city or around wherever you are based, Western Cape, Eastern Cape, Johannesburg, Gauteng, wherever you are, if there are places where you are gathering to watch and there are watch parties being held, let us know. I think it would be interesting to share those details, especially for the people that don't want to watch at home.
Hi, Kgomotso. Just to add on how I keep my weight in check this festive season, well, with me, basically nothing has changed. My diet is still the same. So what I have done, I eat one good meal once a day and keep myself busy during the day. In the morning, non-negotiable, I go for a run, not because of weight loss, but also to pump up endorphins, just to keep myself happy. And I have snacks, I have cool drinks, I have sweets, all these treats around the house. Everything boils down to self-discipline. It's just self-discipline with me. And that's how I've kept my weight in check this festive season. This is Bui from Vleerhof.
Thank you for that, Bui. Listen, we need you and many others like you to speak out more and tell us how you do it. Because at this time of the year, man, things get out of control. I know for me as well, things get out of control. Temperance is not easy when everyone is having everything on the plate. For some reason, when the salads are out, it looks like an invitation to take everything. I think we need to remind people that you don't have to eat everything. You see, you don't have to put all the salads on your plate. You don't have to put all the proteins on your plate. But who's going to listen to that during Christmas? Of course, during Christmas, get Christmas lunch. You will indulge and overindulge. But I commend you, Sis Bui, and many others who were able to remain disciplined at this time of the year. Of course, we were speaking about Pep Guardiola, the coach of Manchester City, who weighed the players before they went on their festive break. And then they came back and he was weighing them again to see if they haven't gained weight. And there were repercussions if they had gained weight. They wouldn't play the next few games if they had gained weight. And I was asking, if you went away and you were weighed by your employer, would you still have a job if you came back in January, or when you came back in January? Would you still be employed if that was based on whether you gained weight or not? I know for me, it would be really tricky. I know I would have to do a lot of convincing and a lot of negotiating. All right, this is the Clement Manyathela Show. We continue with the show right after this.